Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I am your host, Brian Scott. Today, my supreme goal is for you to enter the heart. What do I mean by entering the heart? I mean, you already have your heart in your body. How could you enter the heart? The key is the heart is special, and you can enter it. From Christians to Buddhist meditation masters, the world's mystics have discovered the magic of communion with the divine in their heart. They describe the heart as the nexus between this world and the spiritual world. They're halfway between heaven and earth. They say we can seek and find our essential reality. So I'm going to explain to you this special secret about the heart. And at the end of this, we're going to do a short little meditation so you can enter into your heart. The heart is more than a physical organ. It is the seat of our higher consciousness and the springboard for self-transformation. Fourth density, the next level of consciousness, is aligned with green ray energy, and it requires that you have an open heart. If your heart is closed, you're not going to be able to exist within a fourth density environment. In Eastern traditions, the heart is at the fulcrum of the body's energy system. It is one of 7 major energy centers, known as chakras. Each chakra is symbolically depicted as a lotus that has a different number of petals. These centers function at subtle levels, invisible to the physical eye, yet they affect every aspect of our life. They are like receiving and sending stations that process and step down the spiritual energy that flows to us moment by moment, nourishing our body, mind, and soul. The heart is the most important energy center in the body. Just as oxygenated blood from our lungs is pumped by the heart to the rest of the body, so the energy we receive from the spirit passes through our heart center before it moves on to nourish the other chakras and systems of our body. As energy passes through our heart chakra, it takes on its imprint, the unique vibration and quality of our heart. That imprint, for better or worse, affects everything we say and do. As the author of Proverbs said, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." That is why it's so important to heal and clear the heart. Each of our spiritual centers, or chakras, provides a different way for us to perceive and receive God. Through the heart chakra, we can choose to experience God as love, compassion, charity, comfort, softness, sensitivity, discernment, and appreciation. Or we can choose to misuse the creative energy that flows through our heart and express it as hatred, dislike, anger, selfishness, irritation, and negligence. The mystics describe the heart as a place of refuge, where we can retreat to talk to God. The heart is nothing but the sea of light, wrote Rumi. The place of the vision of God. Hindu and Buddhist writings tell us that the heart is the abiding place of the Lord. The mystics also reveal that within our heart, there is an antechamber, so to speak. This is your inner temple, tabernacle, cathedral, your private meditation room. In Hinduism, this inner sanctuary is known as the 8th chakra, called Ananda Kanda, or root of bliss. It is also called the secret or hidden chamber of the heart. Jesus described the secret chamber when he said, "When thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret." The secret chamber of the heart is a doorway into cosmic dimensions. The little space within the heart is as great as this vast universe. The ancient Chandogya Upanishad says, "The heavens and the earth are there, and the sun and the moon and the stars, fire and lightning, and winds are there, and all that now is, and all that is not." One Sanskrit text exhorts us to enter into meditation by visualizing a beautiful island in our heart, where golden sands are sprinkled with jewels and fragrant blossoming trees line the shore. Under a beautiful arbor is a temple of rubies where we commune with our teacher in deep meditation. In our episode, The Secret of Atoms, the one known as M wrote, "In the left ventricle of the heart rests the principal atom, that minute model the physical body must eventually conform to in its progress. This is a spinning body living within its own atmosphere and is called the master builder, for it has charge over all the constructive principles of our physical body. Like a general in command, it has armies of atomic builders and engineers that carry out its directions. These are what the author refers to as aspiring atoms, who seek the innermost as we seek the innermost. This master builder has its staff of overseers who often sacrifice their own attainments for those beneath them in development. Our first practice is to attract the notice of this master builder, or nous atom, by the use of these aspiring atoms that attune us to their intelligence. The physical organism is like a foreign country to these willing atoms whose task is to attune it to its greater spiritual possibilities. The master builder rests in the purest blood of the heart, in absolute authority over the atoms that obey it. As we move through our heart chakra in meditation, there is, as it were, a door at the rear that leads to the secret chamber. There, seated upon a throne, is our inner master, our higher self, this beloved friend who provides divine guidance and spiritual connection, is known in various spiritual traditions by different names. Hindu tradition describes the indwelling spirit who lives in the heart as the inmost self, no bigger than a thumb, also known as the Atman. Christian mystics refer to the inner man of the heart, or the inner light. Jesus discovered the higher self to be the Christ, and Gautama discovered it to be the Buddha. Thus, the higher self is sometimes called the inner Christ, or Christ self, or the inner Buddha. The special acoustics of the secret chamber of the heart allow us to hear the still small voice of God and our higher self, and receive the divine direction and understanding we so desperately need. So often, we think we're too busy to stop and listen. Yet the secret chamber isn't very far away. It doesn't have to take long to slip in and have a quick conference call with your inner teacher. Consult frequently with your inner teacher. Your higher self knows all. It can teach you, give you unerring direction, and warn you of danger if you will take the time to tune into that voice. Once you acknowledge this masterful presence within, you can retreat to your secret chamber at key points in your day and commune with that one. You can say, "Oh, beloved one, I am so grateful for your guidance, illumination, and love. Teach me, direct the course of my life, and show me the next steps I must take." You can go into your heart, make the connection with your higher self, and ask specific questions that you need answers to, such as what action to take, or next how to resolve a situation that has come up. The next step is one of the most important. Listen. The answer may not come immediately, but at the right time it will come. All too often I talk to people that are trying to create realities from their mind. When you do this, understand that you'll have two spheres in your mind, and there's always a duality involved, so that when you manifest with your mind, there's always going to be a countervailing force that is involved. We learn in reality transurfing that the key to creating a reality and manifesting what you want is in the heart and alignment with the heart. The heart is very, very different than the mind. The heart does not think, it knows, while the mind considers the information it receives, passing it through an analytical filter of the template worldview. The heart receives knowledge from the information field directly, without subjecting it to analysis and communicates with outer intention in the same manner. Zealand explains that your heart has everything you need to realize your desires. All you have to do is turn to your heart, for the heart has access to all knowledge as well as the previous achievements of all humanity. You just have not asked your heart yet. All great geniuses of art, science, and business have only succeeded in creating masterpieces because they turned to their hearts. All masterpieces speak to us in the language of the heart. Whatever you do, your work will only create an impression if it comes from the heart. That's why certain forms of AI art don't speak to you in the same way, because it did not come from the heart. The mind can build a new house using bricks from a previous model, but no one will be astounded by the new design. The mind can only make a perfect copy when the heart is capable of creating an original. So all you have to do is accept the axiom that the heart has everything it needs, and then give yourself the joy of making the most of it. Without the heart, the mind is not capable of very much at all, and yet together, the heart and mind are capable of almost anything, because their merging generates the magical power of outer intention. The mystics have revealed that blazing within the secret chamber of the heart is a divine spark. Perhaps they knew about the nous atom, a sacred flame that God has endowed us with, a spark of fire from God's own heart. In essence, the divine spark is a portion of God right inside of you. It is pure spirit. It is your point of contact with your source. We may believe we are walking the earth as human beings, but we are in fact divine beings with a divine connection. Mystics the world around believe that a part of God resides within each of us. Know ye not that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? Wrote the Apostle Paul. In Hindu tradition, the Katha Upanishad speaks of the light of the Spirit that is concealed in the secret high place of the heart of all beings. The Jewish mystics refer to a divine spark with neshama, which serves as a bridge to the divine world. Those who have contacted this divine spark describe it as a sacred fire as well as a seed of the divine. Saint Catherine of Siena said in one of her prayers, "In your nature, eternal Godhead, I shall come to know my nature. And what is my nature? It is fire, because you are nothing but a fire of love. You are fire, share the fire with the soul." The Christian theologian and mystic Meister Eckhart said, "God's seed is within us. There's a part of us," says Eckhart, "that remains eternally in the Spirit and is divine. Here God glows and flames without ceasing." Similarly, Buddhists speak of the divine spark as the germ of Buddhahood that exists in every living being. Buddhist texts explain that all that lives is endowed with the essence of the Buddha. The Buddha nature, Buddhist writings, and works of art often symbolize the heart as a lotus, which when nurtured unfolds to reveal that Buddha nature. Within every one of us, that lotus of the heart is destined to blossom and unfold our full spiritual potential. In some traditions, this spark is called a threefold flame because it engenders the primary attributes of spirit: power, wisdom, and love. Corresponding to the Trinity, we draw upon this inner flame every time we act from the loving spiritual part of ourselves. It is the fire, the verve, the creative spark that imbues our finest thoughts and feelings, words, and deeds. This flame is spiritual power, the power to change our own lives, and ultimately to change the world and even the universe. Your divine spark is the same universal light that is burned in the hearts of the saints, adepts, and ascended masters of East and West. The only difference between their flame and your flame is its size and intensity. The more intense the flame, the greater the endowment of light. The greater the light, the more power we have to become living transformers of love. Like the great revolutionaries of the Spirit, we can increase the size and intensity of our spiritual flame and our empowerment of love. The mystics have given us several formulas to expand that light. Their formulas involve the exercise of heart, head, and hand, because we don't expand the flame only through meditation and prayer. We also expand it through the practical application of our heart, the actions we take every day to meet another's need. I believe that when we serve others, that we grow the flame of our heart. The reality revolutionaries of the spirit have discovered how to harness the fires of the heart. Through the white-hot heat of meditation and prayer, we too can release the imprisoned lightning of our heart. Our meditations in the secret chamber are very private experiences. They start with removing our attention from what's happening around us and going within. All the gates closed, the mind confined in the heart, as the Bhagavad Gita says. Christian tradition calls it recollection, withdrawing the mind from external affairs and placing our attention on the presence of God within. When we go within by devotion and love, we contact the inner flame and commune with the energy that is God. The little spirit spark of our personal identity is the key that connects us with the universal, Mark Prophet once said. God's spirit is the fabric of our world. His energy, his pattern, is the only saving grace. We ourselves have to re-identify, reintegrate, repolarize ourselves with that light, and it's got to be done consciously. Through prayer and meditation, we turn our attention back to the inner light, which is the real source of our being. We become drenched with light, renewed, refreshed, and replenished, so we can give more of the light to those who need it. We build up our reservoir of love as we commune with our higher self, who sits on the throne in our heart. We can also access the wisdom of the heart to find solutions to knotty problems. The mystics advise us to combine our meditations with spoken prayer that comes from a heart on fire with love. For instance, the Zohar instructs, whatever a man thinks or whatever he meditates in his heart cannot be realized, in fact, until he enunciates it with his lips. The spoken word activates the fruit of our meditation upon the divine and coalesces it in the physical. Every spiritual tradition has its own beautiful methods for entering the heart through prayer and meditation, from the quiet recitation of sacred words to the repetition of mantras to the inspired singing of devotional songs like bhajans. The spiritual heart has no physical form, and so it is limitless. It's our connection with the divine. It's like an inner sun that shines forth divine light into all areas of our lives. It is always awake, always ready to light our path to enlightenment. Even though we may say we are awakening the heart, what we are really doing is reawakening our memory of it and entering into the heart. Through years or lifetimes of neglect, we have allowed it to become covered over and hidden from view. But just like the sun on a cloudy day, it patiently waits for us to remove the coverings. Vedanta says there is a fine thread made of pure love, which connects our heart with the divine. This thread is the essence of the love and devotion that you find in Bhakti Yoga. It's been lying dormant in our hearts since the beginning of creation, hidden by layers of ignorance and suffering. However, no matter what we do or where we go, our divine connection can never be broken. This is what brings us those moments of unconditional love. This is what creates the deep yearning of our soul for joy and bliss. This is what motivates our spiritual journey. This heart is always awake. So the process of awakening is really one of our small self awakening to its true self, or the awakening to divine love. Imagine an ice cube floating in the ocean. This is like the limited love of your small self, surrounded by the infinite ocean of pure love. We constantly create boundaries by clinging to our rigid beliefs, doubts, and fears. Our awakening is to let go, allowing the boundaries to melt so that we can merge into eternal joy and bliss. How many times have you heard someone say, "When I saw the baby, my heart melted"? Don't wait for the baby. Allow your heart to melt at every opportunity. Become the ocean. Fear contracts, love expands. Our journey is one of expansion, one of falling in love with everyone and everything. Look for the divinity in everything. Vedanta tells us that When our ultimate goal is reached, the entire universe appears like a speck of dust within our fully expanded heart of love. Here we live fully from the spiritual heart rather than the mind. The ego is harmonized. Our life is guided only by love. The early Christian mystics spoke of lowering the mind to the heart. A simple practice is to begin thinking from your heart and loving from your mind. Ask your heart for guidance when making choices, and when negative thoughts arise, see if you can shift your attention to something beautiful. Make love the foundation of your thoughts, words, and actions. The more love you give to others, the more you will be filled with love, and the more your heart will open, and the easier it will be for you to enter into your heart. A study some years ago at Kassel University in Germany measured the light being emitted from a person's chest area. They found it increased 5,000-fold when the subject intentionally meditated on sending healing love to a specific person. So with your heart, you can become a beacon of love and light. One reason people struggle in entering the heart is that they find the doors are locked and chained shut because they have been unable to forgive. A lack of forgiveness is a reason that the heart is hidden, and as a result, we don't forgive. We are the ones who suffer. Without forgiveness, we feed the other person with our energy, whereas forgiveness frees us to love fully in the future. Separate the person from the act. Perhaps we can't always forgive what was done, but we can always forgive the person who did it. Ultimately, everyone brings us an opportunity for our spiritual growth. Be grateful for the opportunities that life offers. Attune yourself to love, and let it be the guide. As we continue on this path, love grows as our heart expands. Begin to look for pure love in everyday experiences. In a crisis, have you suddenly felt safe or felt a loving presence? That's your heart. Do you know someone who had a spontaneous remission? That's the heart. When looking at a beautiful sight, have you lost track of time? That's the heart. Have you ever felt so expanded you were no longer in your body? That's your heart. Do you sometimes feel a deep silence within you just before sleep? That is the heart. The truth is our highest vibration, our essence, who we really are. Pure love, the divine reality of existence. The I am resides in your heart. We might find temporary happiness by looking out in the world, but true lasting love and joy must first be discovered within the heart. I've had the wonderful opportunity to discuss the power of the heart in an interview with Shiva Carr on the intelligence of the heart, and with Kyle Boyd on Heart Math Institute and Heart-Mind Connections. I've taught and used a technique that I use in my meditations to center the heart and move into a consciousness of the heart. We have found this to be true. Dr. Joe Dispenza uses it. This is a scientific fact, yet it's still very, very spiritual. So I want to take you into a short little meditation where I'm going to take you into your heart now. You're about to begin the most important experience of every day of your life. It is a sacred ritual. You can do it once or more than once a day. First, find a quiet place where you'll be undisturbed. Many people find that dedicating a room or part of a room for spiritual rituals and creating their own personal altar helps them make the sacred connection more easily. Be seated in a comfortable chair with your legs uncrossed and your feet flat on the floor, or sit in a lotus position. Keep your spine erect in honor of the spirit within you. These positions are the most conducive to the flow of energy through your spiritual centers. You can also separate your hands, cup them, and place them on your lap in a receptive mode. Cupping your hands symbolizes that you are offering yourself as a chalice for God. Pour thyself into me, O living spirit. Once you're seated, close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and withdraw your attention from all outer circumstances and cares of this world. Each time you exhale, consciously release the tension of the day. Let go of worries, concerns, and preoccupations. Withdraw your attention from problems at home and at work, from physical and emotional burdens. Set them all aside for the moment. Now center all of your energy and attention on your heart chakra in the center of your chest. See in your mind's eye the intensity of the sun at noonday. Transfer the picture of that fiery sphere of light to the center of your chest cavity. You are aware of nothing else but this great sphere of light. Take another deep breath. As you exhale, visualize yourself gently descending into the sphere of light. Energy and consciousness that is your radiant heart chakra. You are entering it entirely, moving farther away from the limiting dimensions of time and space into a timeless, spaceless dimension. As you travel deeper and deeper into the inner recesses of your being, visualize yourself entering the secret chamber of the heart chakra. Visualize yourself walking into this chamber as you would enter a mighty cathedral, a private chapel, a beautiful synagogue, mosque, Buddhist or Hindu temple. As you continue meditating on the secret chamber of the heart, begin to feel the divine stillness of perfect love. This is an inner experience, as though you were alone in the cosmos with your Creator. You are inside of your God. Your God is inside of you. As you take your place within the secret chamber, direct your attention to the sacred flame, the divine spark, the nous atom that burns upon the central altar. The altar of your heart is the place you go for alteration, for transformation, for alchemy. You come to this altar to leave behind an outworn portion of yourself, the old man, which is our old habits and patterns, and to garner a greater portion of the light of our higher self, the new man, the new version of you. You can visualize yourself shedding the layers of your aura that are ready to be discarded. See them fall to the ground and let them be consumed by the flame. Hold your hands in the center of your chest, at the point of your heart chakra. Feel the beating of your heart and see with your inner eye the flame that is your divine spark pulsating on that altar within the secret chamber of your heart. You can picture this flame as having three parts representing three divine attributes. On your left is the blue flame, representing divine power. In the middle is the yellow flame, embodying divine wisdom. On your right is the pink flame, which radiates divine love. Here, in the inner secret chamber, before your personal altar, you approach your inner teacher and mentor, your higher self. And as you stand before your altar, bow before the sacred flame and then before your inner guide. Each time you do so, it is your opportunity to offer a heartfelt prayer. Pray with me. Almighty God, I bow before the flame you have placed in my heart, which is a portion of yourself, my beloved inner Christ, inner Buddha, inner light. Show me this day what you would have me do with the power, wisdom, and love of this divine spark, so that I may be your heart, your head, and your hand in action. My heart, thy heart beating as one. To increase the intensity of the fire that burns within, take a moment to send an intense arc of love and gratitude from your heart to God, and to feel the return current of that love. Now is a time to pray and affirm our connection with our heart. By using the sound of our voice and our words, we consecrate this divine connection. As you pray, you can visualize thousands of sunbeams going forth from your heart. Join me in prayer. I am the light of the heart, shining in the darkness of being and changing all into the golden treasury of the mind of Christ. I am projecting my love out into the world to erase all errors and to break down all barriers. I am the power of infinite love, amplifying itself until it's victorious, world without end. I am a portion of God. This day I am charging the substance within my heart that is mine to command with the flame of love from the hand of Almighty God. I send it forth from my being everywhere in all directions to perform the perfect work of God and to return to me with all the divine love which I am sending forth. Higher self above me, thou balance of my soul, let thy blessed radiance descend and make me whole. Thy flame within me ever blazes, thy peace about me ever raises. Thy love protects and holds me, thy dazzling light enfolds me. I am thy threefold radiance, I am thy living presence, expanding, expanding now. Holy flame within me, come, expand thy light. Flood my being with the essence. Thy flame within me ever blazes, thy peace about me ever raises. Thy love protects and holds me. Thy dazzling light enfolds me. I am thy threefold radiance. I am thy living presence, expanding, expanding, expanding forever. As you see yourself within this vast paradise of your heart, as you are conscious within this inner chamber, say these words with me. O Lord, my God, come and talk with me. Walk with me in this paradise garden. Come, O Lord, for I have prepared the way, and my offering is the sacrifice of the lesser self upon the altar of the heart. I come before thy presence, Lord. I see thee in thy essence. I am your omnipresence. Teach me how to be myself, how to walk the earth with heart and mind together, responding to your will at your command. O Infinite One, come unto me. O God of love, let me dwell with thee. The wonderful chant, Om Mane Padme Hum, means hail to the jewel in the lotus. It calls out to this divine spark. Om Mane Padme Hum. Om Mane Padme Hum. Om Mane Padme Hum. What a marvelous thing. In the thousands of universes and worlds exists within you this divine spark, right now in this moment. Take this moment and spend time with your heart. Pray to it. Ask it questions. Sit with it. Commune with it. Very good. I wish to conclude today with a passage from the Bhagavad Gita. God dwells in the hearts of all beings. Beloved, your God dwells in your heart, and his power of wonder moves all things, whirling them onwards on the stream of time. I have given you words of wisdom and vision, more secret than hidden mysteries. Ponder them in the silence of your heart, and then in freedom do your will. Never forget that within your heart is your true essence. Continue to connect and commune with it as you go about your day, continuing this beautiful relationship with your heart, and continually, every day and every chance you get, commune with your heart and enter into the secret chamber of your heart, where all things are possible and perfect love exists forever. And welcome to the Reality Revolution.